Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today and I'd like to welcome you to the dedication of the Ball Ground Botanical Garden. The Ball Ground Anetsa Garden Club. Now, does anybody know what that Anetsa means? Ball ground. It's ball ground in the Cherokee language. We're not just trying to make up words. It is important. So we are here to celebrate National Garden Club Week with this dedication. We are members of the Laurel District and Deep South area of the National Garden Club. So thrilled to see such a wonderful turnout. Look around. Isn't this wonderful? Ball ground folks, people have come a long way. Wonderful. We do have some special guests we would like to recognize. Our club was established, can you believe this, 1951, 65 years ago. And today we have one of the original members, charter members of our garden club. We have Miss Gloria Wheeler. Raise your hand, Gloria. Betty Jo Harris is also a member, charter member of the club, and at the last minute she couldn't come. And we do have Lee, her son, is going to represent her. And how old are you now, Miss Gloria?
92.
92. And see, if you get involved in garden club, you have a long life. But we would like to recognize Miss Gloria. Miss Jenny has something for us.
I tell them I'm going on 50.
Going on 50. She can still do about anything that she wants. I'm going to step off just a minute. We would like to present to Miss Gloria a certificate, and it says Certificate of Appreciation, Charter Member and Treasurer of the Ball Ground Anetsa Garden Club, organized in 1951. This 11th day of June 2016. Yes, you want to do that? Yes.
And I just want to say, on behalf of the Historical Society, we
you.
also have a bag that she will remember all these pictures on it. And that's from the Ball Ground Historical Society. Thank you for your history.
And we want to do Lee, Betty Jo. Did you have that one? All right, and also in honor of Miss Betty Jo Harris, now everybody knows Miss Betty Jo, we are going to present her also with a Certificate of Appreciation this 11th day of June 2016. Mr. Lee, her son.
Jane will also give Miss Betty Jo for us on behalf of the Historical Society.
Also, if you're interested, I do have the original book that was printed, and it was told who the officers were and what they were doing and so forth. But we were noticing it when they listed someone's name. It was like Mrs. Mike Smith or Mrs. David Byers. How about that? The woman's name wasn't even mentioned. It was a garden club. But if you'd like to see this is the original. This is 65 years old.
Wow.
We've been around here for a long while.
Yes, I think you have. We would also like today to recognize Edna McClellan. Raise your hand, Edna, right back here. Edna is the district manager or district director of the Laurel District, which encompasses a lot of North Georgia. And she drove down from LJ to participate with our group. We also have several local clubs present. If you're in a local garden club, would you raise your hand? See, these These are ladies that have come from our local clubs to support us. Another guest that we have is Mr. Tom Cox. Raise your hand, Tom. Tom has Cox Arboretum. If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. He loves conifers, and he's a definitive expert on them. If you have any conifer problems, here's Tom. But we appreciate him coming. He has helped us out so much with some of the plantings. He got us in places where you could get it a lot inexpensively than other places, so he was a great friend to our club. We also have Miss Olive Robinson, right here. Now, this lady saw our ad in the paper about we're going to have a garden club and so forth, or garden, and she wanted to know all about it. So she came out here one day and we met her at the garden. We took her around and showed her what we thought we could do. And what's so special, she went home and she contributed to our garden, which we appreciated so much. But Miss Olive is also a founding member, one of the original founders of the Atlanta Botanical Garden. And she's here today. Our mayor, Rick Roberts, is here, and we're going to have him speak in just a minute. Where is he? Oh, he's back here. And someone we couldn't have done without, Eric Wilmarth, our city planner. Wonderful. We have members of the city staff here and also the city council. Beth Ingram is president of the Business and Community Association. And guess what? We just got her to join our group. So we've got a lot of helpers. We also, I don't know if Dr. Ingram from the STEM Academy School is represented, but he's also been involved with the garden. And we have representatives from the Cherokee Master Gardeners. If you're a Cherokee Master Gardener, raise your hand. Got some here. We actually have 4 members of our group that are Master Gardeners, and I am one also. We have numerous businesses who have supported us, and a little later we'll share about that. Last but certainly not least, I am president of the most wonderful group of ladies. We have 35 members and 3 honorary members. Now those honorary members are some that can't make it every meeting, but one of them is Larry Cavender. And he is a longtime resident of Bog Ground, and he's a reporter for the Pickens Progress. How many of you have a reporter come to your meetings? But he's so kind to us and comes and participates. And I accuse him of coming just because of the good food. But we do appreciate it. I would like all of the Bog Ground Garden Club to stand up. Wave your hand if you're around. What wonderful ladies. Wonderful ladies. Lee Grogan, did he come today? Yes. Well, do you know on the other side where the butterfly used to be Grogan's store? How many remember when Grogan's store really was a store? And a lot of the foundation you see over here, the marble, is the foundation from that old store. Well, Lee really supported what we were doing and was so generous with his donations, and we even have a dahlia bed, because that's what his mother loved. So he wanted a dahlia bed, so we really appreciate him. Where's Lee? There he is right here. We appreciate you so much. At this time, I would like to, yeah, he deserves a clap. Yep. At this time, I'm going to call on Lucille Rich, and she's going to do our invocation.
This is the book Garden Blessings by June Cotner, a collection of poems and blessings. Gardens. Gardens are more than hooded flowers, tempting fruits, and living trees. They are the birds that sing and fly in gardens, the wing-eyed butterflies, the golden bees. They include the sky with sun and moon and stars, the rain and snow. They are the earth with captured light from heaven, where plants and people grow. A garden is a universe that whispers soft and vernal. As it is above, so it is below. Waking, blooming, sleeping, waking up again. Gardens are eternal. They teach us all we need to know. And perhaps Ralph Waldo Emerson said it best about gardens. Never lose an opportunity, by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Never lose an opportunity of seeing anything that is beautiful. For beauty is God's handwriting, a wayside sacrament. Welcome it in every fair face, in every fair sky, in every fair flower. And thank God, for it is a cup of blessing. Let us pray. Our Father, we thank you for this garden. We thank you for the universe you have so brilliantly and beautifully displayed for mankind's keeping. Help us and that we will be caretakers of your soil and your plants. Thank you for the loving hands and loving hearts that made this botanical garden possible. We give you all thanks and glory. Amen.
At this time, we're going to have our mayor, Rick Roberts.
This is really a big deal. I don't think we've had this many people at City Hall ever, even for zoning cases. I want to thank you for Diane and putting me on the program. What a dynamic group of members you have. This is, I've watched this club over the years. I've known it all my life. I am actually, I'm younger than 1951. My grandmother was a charter member in this club, so it was part of, I knew what Anetsa was when I was a kid. I knew what it translated, but she was a very dedicated member of the garden club. She also was a member of the state lifetime members, state garden club and national garden club. So I've got it. I guess genetically, I'm connected to this. I want to tell you, when we laid out City Hall years ago, this was back in about 2008, we kept trying to assemble this property because I envisioned having actually more of a park-like setting. You know, most government buildings are more in a concrete jungle, but we retained the trees and the stream, and I thought all along it would be a great park setting. And then the garden club approached us about, I guess, over a year ago, and with the idea of a garden. And I guess it 1 year ago.
It's been really free since this is groundbreaking a year ago today. Yep.
We had the groundbreaking, and I'm going to tell you something. I have never seen a group of people work harder than these members have here, day and night, in the heat, in the cold. I mean, every time we would pass by, in the rain, I don't think I saw you in the snow, but every time I would pass by or be at City Hall, people are here working, and the fruit of your efforts show, and it's just such a great addition to our City Hall grounds. It's going to be this is going to be an attraction, another reason to come to Ball Ground. And you know, I know we have Gibbs Gardens, and we appreciate Gibbs Gardens, but we have our own in-city gardens now, and I'm just so proud of what you've done and how quality it is. The city's going to continue to support. We partnered with with the Garden Club on this project, and not only financially, but in for things like operations and maintenance. But as this drought is coming about now, at the time all these plantings are going in, and my city manager is going to frown at me when I say this, but one good thing we can do is give you free water. I'm telling you, it is such an asset, and we appreciate what you did here and what you're doing. The program to the memorial bricks, that's something that we can keep expanding, and I encourage people to honor either people after they passed or people while they're still alive with a memorial brick to build on this park. And so we've got there's a kiosk planned, I think, that will be really nice, and I think again it's going to be a real feather in the city's cap, and I appreciate that from all the work of the Garden Club. We do have I would love to say just take all the property and convert it. We got to save a little bit for the city operation, but I do envision it being expanded, and we can partner again with that. If you may know, particularly the Garden Club members, that this is National Garden Week across the country. So I do have, in closing here, I do have a proclamation from the city proclaiming the week of June 5th through the 11th as National Garden Week in the city of Ball Ground. And I'd like to present this to President Smith.
I'm going to share a little bit with you about how this garden came to be and what we expect in the future, and the effort that's gone into it. The Anetsa Garden Club has tried for over 65 years to make Ball Ground beautiful, a wonderful heritage. Our motto is to do the best with what you can, to do the best with what you have. In recent years, we've made baskets for the city and kept them watered. We've helped make baskets for the school. We watered in the heat and the cold. In the cold, we planned. But we even have developed a cookbook, which is filled with 65 years of recipes from the people of Ball Ground. It's won first place nationally in the Garden Club competition, and we were proud. But over three years ago, some of our ladies thought we might make a beautiful garden on the empty back corner of the City Hall. They could tell, we went to the city and asked them about what they thought, and they could tell we were a group of determined ladies. The idea for the Garden Club began to develop, and we wanted to create a garden for the city families to enjoy and educate about the stream and the plants. It's taken a lot of planning, a lot of hard work. Everything costs money too. Did you know that? Costs money. So we had to plan for that too. The garden is funded with engraved bricks and a Friends of the Garden account with the city. As we began to earn money, the city gave us a dump truck load of topsoil, spread it for us, and we were on our way. We were promised a water line with 3 spigots. We did get that like at the beginning of the summer. So there were times we were out there on our tummies scooping up water out of that stream. So we were so thankful we had the spigots, but now we can use a hose and we can reach every bit of the garden. Brian Holcomb created the slate path that you see there as an Eagle Scout project. We already had this pavilion, and this was done by his brother Hayden. So we had this beautiful infrastructure already in place. Since the groundbreaking a year ago, we have steadily worked to accomplish our goals. We've envisioned a garden with a stone path from the parking lot through the bed of daylilies and roses. Laura St. Ange, a local daylily grower, saw our vision, and we ended up digging up 145 bags of those fancy daylilies that she gave us to go to the garden. We wanted to make 2 beds to enter the path from the side street. The garden needed special beds to educate. They included a native plant bed, a butterfly garden, herb garden, iris bed, and then fill in the area with beautiful trees, shrubs, daffodils, and flowering plants. After working on our idea, we had Stacy, I can't think of her last name. Did she come today? Is Miss Stacy here? Stacy Kirby. She did the drawing for us, and we enlarged it and colored it. And she took our ideas and expanded and helped kind of a couple of areas we need some help. She helped us, so we were really appreciative of her. And now, wouldn't a bridge be nice? And a curved rock wall, brick wall for the engraved bricks. We would share our vision with the city fathers, which is really a misnomer. They really ought to be called city husbands. We ladies come to them with our honey-do list. They see us coming and head the other way. But we finally got water at the beginning of the summer, and we were digging out of the stream with milk jugs. I mentioned that. The last 3 months, though, have been extremely difficult because we have pushed planting and pushed the building and selling bricks and friends of the garden donations. What you see is only the beginning. We plan an herb bed, a bridge over the stream, coordinate with teachers, and plan a children's area to teach. Maybe even a military memorial. All this couldn't happen without the help of several important people. The core directors of the project was Beverly Poe, project chairman, Jenny Byers, our financial director, and since I was a master gardener and kind of crazy and can do a lot of hard work, I was the gardener and designer. Eric Wilmarth, our city planner, was also so important. Every time we needed something, we went to Eric. We had to get through the ladies at the front desk, but we got to you, didn't we? But I want to praise Eric because he actually constructed himself that bridge that you see. And isn't that beautiful? I told him he could probably go into business just making bridges. I think I would love to have one of those at my house, and I'm sure you would too. In a minute, yes?
Could I just add one more name to that list that you did about with you and Jenny and me? We had Jean D. She was the coach, project chairman for the Butterfly Garden.
I'm going to recognize her.
I just want to make sure.
No, we're not going to. How many of you know Miss Jean? You know, we don't leave out Miss Jean. But yes, she has worked tirelessly with Beverly on that butterfly garden. She certainly needs all the praise. In a minute, I'm going to call up these ladies to share with you. Jean Dees will share also about the special butterfly garden and the designation. And I hope you've noticed our 6-foot metal flower. Did you see that? Did you see what the petals are made out of? Shovels. Everything about it is made to talk about the garden. And Robert, is Robert here? Who built the flower? Anyway, he runs the record service down here, Town and Country. So if you ever need a record service, he's the one to go to. He is so generous. But if you need a metal flower, I don't know if he'll make one for you. It's probably a lot of hard work.
He does general repair also.
Oh, general repair too. Okay. He's a welder, so he can do all that. But you'll notice that flower is very special. I'm going to let Jean tell you about it. A word about the native plant bed. You will find rare plants and learn about the natives you might find in your yard. We also have pink lady slipper orchids and turkey beard. These are 2 really rare plants that we have in the area that we have brought to the garden to teach you what they look like. Turkey beard looks like grass, and a lot of people just stomp down on it and mow it down, but it's a wonderful plant with a tall white bloom stalk. And about a sample of plants that we will find in the area. We're going to probably have a little bit of everything that you can find that's wild growing around. Eventually all the plants will be marked with names and even barcodes for the computer, so a child can come in and scan the tag and be able to pull up what that plant is and tell them about it and let them learn about it. In the native plant garden, I actually have a sensitive briar. Anybody know what that is? When you touch it with your hand, you can see it just close up by itself. So it is really an interesting plant. So hopefully the children will learn to appreciate it. I have some special thanks reserved at the end for a special group, but I'm going to now call on Miss Beverly Pogue, who is our project director, and I'm going to let her say a few words for you. She needs a clap. She works hard.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that's here, and it's been a labor of love. We've all grown closer. We've about killed each other. We love each other, but we've all done well. But I'm going to talk about the Rosalind Carter Butterfly Trail. In April 2013, Rosalind Carter, she wanted to establish a butterfly garden at their home in Plains, Georgia, to bring public awareness to the declining monarch butterfly population and to encourage the conservation of butterflies in their habitats. Within a few months, she had 11 public butterfly gardens in Plains had sprung up, many at historic sites, creating the foundation of the Rosalind Carter Butterfly Trail. The trail has now grown to include over 300 public, private, and school gardens across the United States, as well as Canada and Japan. The Ball Ground Botanical Butterfly Garden is designated as a garden in the Rosalind Carter Butterfly Trail. To be included, our garden has to have both nectar and host plants. The milkweed is both a nectar and host plant for the monarch and very essential to their survival. There are many flowering plants, trees, and shrubs that the butterflies are drawn to, and we have many in our butterfly garden and surrounding gardens. They mostly feed on nectar from flowers, but they also eat tree sap, dung, and rotting fruit. So if you have any dung or rotting fruit, feel free to bring it to we do have a little spot that they have chosen themselves to. They like mud, and they like to eat mud, and if you come between 10 and 2 and during the day, you will see butterflies in the garden. One of our ladies yesterday came about 9 o'clock or 9:30 in the morning, and she said she saw the biggest monarch butterfly she's ever seen. So anyway, they said that they don't have mouth parts, but they also they drink their food through a straw-like proboscis. Our butterfly garden is designed in the shape of the eastern tiger swallowtail, which is also our official state butterfly. Butterflies are most abundant in the garden, like I said, between 10 a.m. and 2 from summer to early fall. During cold periods, they hibernate in hollow trees or abandoned buildings and only venture out when the temperatures warm up between 82 and 100 degrees. The monarch butterfly is migratory, flying from Canada to Mexico in the fall and over 2,000 miles, with stops along the way. In the spring, they migrate northward. So that's where we come in to provide food for them as they migrate. They have been spotted in our area from May on. Like I said, a large monarch was spotted in our garden Friday. It's an unfathomable distance for millions of these fragile winged creatures to travel, and it requires the birth of a special generation of long-living butterflies. An average adult monarch has a lifespan of about 4 weeks, but I prefer to say God creates a generation that lives nearly 10 times longer, up to 8 months, when it's time to migrate so they can carry their genes through to the following year. To me, that's just amazing. If you're interested in developing a butterfly garden to be included in the Rosalind Carter Butterfly Trail, please see me and I'll get you started. It can just be a little container in your deck with nectar and host plants, or a large garden like ours, or in between. Every plant helps preserve our butterflies. Well, I'm going to switch from butterflies to bricks, and then I'll be through. First, I would like to thank each and every one of you who has purchased an engraved brick from our Garden Club member. If you haven't, we still have applications. Like Diane said, it's going to be ongoing. We will continue to sell bricks. We will have a kiosk behind you between the Daylily and this area, and we will have a circle of bricks in that. We will, if we have to, we'll just come down our path. And anyway, all the proceeds go to building and maintaining the garden. And like I said, it's an ongoing project, and over 400 bricks have been sold to date. And there was a glitch beyond our control in getting all the bricks engraved for today, and we are so very sorry. If you are unable to find a brick or bricks that you purchased, please see me, Diane, Jenny, or Jean, and we will accommodate you. Rest assured the remainder of the bricks will be in place within the next month or so. And also, please let us know of any misspellings or inaccuracies that you might find on your bricks, and if so, we will have them redone. They will be correct, and thank you so much, everybody.
Next is our co-chair, Miss Jean Dees.
Thank you so much, Diane. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Are we not blessed with the most beautiful day here? And today's going to be one of the hottest, I think, of this summer. Again, just really want to thank you for coming out today. It has been a blessing for me to be a part of such a wonderful, giving group of ladies. My heart, I get almost choked up when I think of being a part of this Ball Ground Garden Club. Butterflies they have always been a part of one of God's creatures that has always fascinated me. And so when I was when it came to that we were going to do a butterfly garden, I go, me, I want in on it. And so I've been was able to just to me, I've been playing in the butterfly garden. But right now, I want to give special recognition to the local artists who have contributed to the beautification of this botanical garden. First, I'd like to bring up David Cope. Does David happen to be here today? He is a local resident just right down the road here from the garden, and I was out there working, and he stopped going home for lunch, and he said, do you want a butterfly? And I go, well, sure, I'd like to have a butterfly. Didn't quite know what he was talking about. And he says, well, I get off around 5. Where would you like for me to put it? I said, okay. I said, down there where we keep our mulch, there by the creek on the other side. And I said, he said, okay, fine. So the next day I came back, and I couldn't wait to see, what butterfly he was talking about. Well, what David does is that he makes butterflies and roses out of scrap metal. And so what we used is that we used it for a sign, to hold a sign that is located at the top of the right wing of the butterfly, which says Butterfly Garden. And when you go over there, you can't miss it. The next wonderful addition to the butterfly was given to us from a friend of the garden, Penny Damone, which was a bowling ball. Now, why would someone give us a bowling ball? Anyone? Idea? Bowling ball for the butterfly? Well, I'm going to tell you, because we have a wonderful, amazing, fine art artist named Kathy Mock. Kathy, could you please stand, wave your arm? Where are you? Kathy, I want you to stand.
She can't get up.
Yes, you can. Thank you, Kathy. Also one of the founders of the Arts and Crafts Guild of Ball Ground. So I went to her and I said, okay, Kathy, I want you to take this bowling ball and make us a head for our butterfly. Well, she took on, she looked at me, she went, okay. And she took on that challenge. And so she created the head of our butterfly. And thank you, Monroe, her husband, who assembled and placed the butterfly on the head, on the garden head. Thank you, Monroe. Raise your hand. We next have the sunflower that we call the sunflower that is placed in the children's garden, which will have learning plants placed in beds, correct? Okay. And this sunflowers was designed and created by Robert Chapman. I've known Mr. Chapman for some time, and I went to him back in January. And I knew that he made all these awesome creatures and different things out of auto parts. And I said, okay, Robert, I need something for our garden. And he goes, oh, Gina, I'm so busy, I don't have time. And I said, well, I really need your help. I said, we have to have something amazing for a garden that I know only you can create. Then I went back to him in February. I said, how's that creating thing going on about that, what you're going to make for us in the garden? He goes, it's here. So once a month, went to him and he goes, it's here, and yeah, it's coming along. Well, he had been making it all along because that's who Robert is. And so it is created from garden tools, both hand and power, up to the heavy duty that helps make our Georgia farmers' produce. The stem is an exhaust pipe from a tractor. The spades that we use are the petals, or the leaves, I'm so sorry, thank you. The petals, thank you so much, darling. The petals are the shovels. The center blue of the flower is a plow disc. The stems are coming out of, stamens? Stamens, thank you. Are garden rakes, are the end of the garden rakes. In the center, you will see a orange butterfly. And these are, the wings are cut out from garden spades. And if you'll look on the back of the butterfly, you'll actually see measuring marks where the spades were used for depth and planting. Then on the butterfly, the little antennas, they are actually the linkage off the carburetor from a garden tiller. And the legs are the spring bracts of a tractor's carburetor from a garden tiller. And that is our sunflower. Thank you again so much for your time, and thank you again for being here.
Next is someone very important, and I know all of you know her because she's like Miss Ballground, Miss Jenny Byers.
Thank you, Diane. Well, it's my pleasure to recognize people that have made donations to our garden, especially the sponsors. When we were talking about this, Mayor Rick Roberts and I decided that a good thing to do would be ask for money. Being bankers, I guess money was on our mind. So we have, yeah, ex-bankers, both of us, ex-bankers. Well, we had different levels. We came up with a platinum for $1,000, gold for $500, silver for $250, and bronze for $100. And when we sent these letters out, I got really excited. The first donation that came back was from the Ball Ground Lions Club, $500, and we were thrilled to death. Next, I got a call from a very good friend, Mr. Lee Grogan. And when he called me, I was so excited. I think I was more excited to get to reminisce with him than his money. So, Lee, would you stand up? Lee's grandmother lived in this brick house across the street. But like Diane said, the Butterfly Garden is where Grogan's store was. And thank you, Lee, for that donation, because when he called, it's like, okay, this is really going to happen. People are really going to give us money. So, also, we've got a donation. We were at the Business Association and talking with Mr. Adam Johnson with Greenspec. And we thought he was going to buy a brick, but when some of the ladies went by his place of business, He donated $1,000. Also, our Mayor Rick Roberts is donating $1,000 in memory of a very loved one to all of us who had enormous energy, and as Lynn Harris Worthington put it, sunshine smiles. Judson Roberts. He just passed away, and this will be in his memory. And then when we got a donation from Doug Barrett, word spread like fire through our club that he had made a $5,000 donation. Doug, I hope you don't mind me telling him. So we were so excited, and we appreciate Doug. And also, then we really got excited when he came back and said, I'm making another donation. And he made those in memory of his wife, Margaret Barrett, his mother and father, Bob and Luvine Howell Barrett. And let me tell you, Miss Luvine was the first lady mayor and the only lady mayor to date that has been in our city. And Sam and Callie Robertson Howell, Clint and Jesse Garrett Higgins, Virgin May Garrett, Martin Clyde Roberts, Baker R. Jones, he was our banker for many years, Bill and Hazel Hasty, Paul and Lila Stamper Grogan, Hope and Selma Avery. These are people, he said, that made him the man he is today, and we appreciate that. Next, our gold sponsors for 500, the Ball Ground Lions Club. Like I said, the first one that came in, and Miss Nancy Madden is here. She is our president of the Lions Club. Thank you, Nancy. Oh, then we got a contribution from Jenny and Dave and Joey Byers, but that was from like $500 that the bank gave me when I retired, so we have that. Also, Representative and Mrs. Calvin Hill, and Amanda Locke is here, her daughter. Amanda, where are you? Back here. I called to remind her mother, Cheryl Hill, to come and be with us today. And I said, did I call it a bad time? She said, oh, I'm at the Grand Canyon. I said, somebody has to do it, so go do it. But her mother was president of our garden club for 5 years. Also, we have T. Harold and Barbara Harris, Olive and Robbie Robinson, and all of these we do appreciate. We have the silver sponsors, Ball Ground Business and Community Association, and we have Beth Ingram. Is she here today? No. And then the Ball Ground Historical Society, which I'm the president of, and Miss Lucille was our first president, and we have her present, and Mr. Tim Cavender. So we were all the presidents of the Historical Society, which we only started back in 2012. And we also have Robert and Beverly Pogue. Then we have our bronze sponsors, Eddie and Tammy Brinkley, Paula Doris, Jim and Betty Edmondson, Ms. Evelyn Foster, T.L. and Lloyd Harris and family, donated by Jean and Yvonne Harris, Sandra Peacock Ho-Miller, Don and Vicki Holyfield, Matt and Leah Kelly, Tom Megacy, Bill and Elaine Ness, Michael and Diane Smith, Jimmy and Helen Turner, Portia and Portia Mokisa and Mosika and Julian Wright. And I think most of our contributors, Diane is probably already recognized, but I want to say thanks so much for our sponsors, so let's give them a hand. Thank you so much. I will say we do want to recognize Sherry Martin. I don't think she's here, but she gave us a lot of publicity for this project. Reed Sellers had donated his PA system for today, and his friend Dee, and Gary Conway, our photographer, and somebody that worked so hard in this garden that when we would pass, there would be one lady out here wandering these gardens, thinking and working and planning, and many times by herself. How many times have you passed here and saw one lady walking around working? Well, for that one lady, it happens to be our president, and so she's probably worn that hat out. So for today, our club colors is lavender and green, and I want to donate to Diane a hat that she can enjoy wearing when she's out here. Hopefully not burning.
Thank you so much. There's one last group, and I bet you can figure out real quick what this group is. The ladies of the garden club, their husbands. Well, I would like for all the husbands of ladies from our garden club to stand up. Now these men went without food, went without meals. They carried heavy loads. They tilled up gardens. They drove around North Georgia looking for a place that you're going to buy some plants. They put up with a whole lot. And you know what's so amazing? There's no divorce in any of the group yet. But sincerely, especially my husband, because if I'm out here so late and doing stuff and everything, he's home with nothing to eat. But we do. We especially thank our husbands who love. They do that because they love us, and they believe in what we're trying to do here. I do hope that you will take a look around the garden. You'll need to go to the butterfly by going back at the entrance here and going around, and it's over here on the last corner. And enjoy and come and have a picnic. Go get something to eat in Ball Ground, come back here and have a picnic. And invite people to come. It's going to grow, and it's going to be something that the whole city will be proud of. And with that, we are dismissed.
Oh, that was very nice.
I thought I didn't have to mention, you see that food, don't you? So you're welcome to come get a drink, and we do appreciate all the ladies of the club that did the food. We certainly do.
Heaven's going to grab me right back there.